Restaurant Unstoppable. Inspire, empower, and transform the industry.
What about managing the numbers, cost of goods sold, bottom line, menu engineering, things like that?
Very important, obviously.
Is there an area that you geek out on the most of what I mentioned, or is there something that I did not mention that you really think that needs to be discussed?
No, I mean, I think the biggest thing is to set yourself up systems that, again, allow you to clear mental space to deal with the other things that are going to happen throughout your day. So you have clearly defined schedule, you have clearly defined ordering systems, and we don't have a program for it. I do everything through Excel. We are, constantly working with our vendors to stay within certain price areas. So I like to call it, the invisible hand of restaurant profitability. If you've set up systems and you can stay within the guidelines that have been set up, now think about the guest experience. Now think about these other things getting people in the door.
You're recreating yourself in systems so you can hand that off and have expectations and standards for the people that you're handing that off to.
Yeah, I mean, the ultimate goal is to not be here.
Yeah. So what was that process of getting to your systems to where they are now? How did that evolve over time? Where did you start?
You start with you have to start somewhere. You have to put a framework together based on your past experiences. But then it's also identifying areas that can be better, identifying mistakes. I can't think of a good one right now. Probably one of the best ways that we do it is about yearly. We didn't do it during COVID. We'll kind of put everything out to bid, for lack of a better term. We just, talk to vendors and say, hey, this is kind of where we're at. What do you have? Is this a situation where we want to, maybe we want to make a change, but it provides you with a really good perspective. And then the best teacher is obviously mistakes or figuring out, like a good example, these cookies that are packaged sitting on the front desk. Everyone, when you leave, that's sort of our, in the Michelin 3-star restaurant, you get the huge display of all the cookies and candies. Well, we're not doing that here, but I wanted to recreate that somehow. I wanted people to leave with something, but not something that immense. Also, we don't have a pastry kitchen. I mean, our entire kitchen would be a pastry kitchen.
We're going to get into, I think we're going to get into this with the whole, you shouldn't strive to be 50 top.
So those are a great example.
Yeah.
It's a number that is not necessarily quantifiable. I mean, it's, if we're going to do 110 covers tonight, we need to have X, but you might come and you've been here 3 times and you really like those. And when the host is looking the other way, you're going to take 4 bags of them. I mean, good on you. I'm glad you like them, but that's not something that we can say we're going to have 20 orders of this tonight.
Yeah.
So we needed to set up a system for not running out of those.
Yeah.
We also needed to set up a system for making sure that we have, the bags are something that are ordered in.
Yeah.
Well, there needs to be a system so we make sure we don't run out of those. Those kind of things. The only way we came about setting up a system for that is because we ran out of those once.
So this is
going to happen.
Yeah. So you don't know until you know. And I think how do we start today's conversation? What was the quote you gave us?
A little bit better every day.
Exactly.
Right.
Just start documenting, even if it's the most rudimentary, to have a piece of paper. You walk in the front door. What are the things I did today? Right? What are the things I need to do to get this place open?
Right.
Turn the lights on, turn the stove on. You just start making a list of all the things you have to do. Then you have your list. Then the list gets better the next day. Then there's one thing you forgot. You add that to the list.
Right.
Eventually, you got most things covered. And even then, there's going to be something once a quarter that happens that you didn't think of.
It's always, that list is always going to be the same size.
Just start documenting.
But, punch list is a perfect example. Yeah. You go through when you're trying to get the place open and you're working with your contractor and they're, but you always have to have a punch list.
Yeah.
Always. And I start just about every day with that. These are things that, we can refine, we can get better. These are also things that we've just, after 2 or 3 years, we have a high retention rate. People who have been here for 2, 3, 4 years. Sometimes you see the same things over and over again. It's nice to have a fresh set of eyes. Coming back from, we were just in spent 10 days in Napa. Well, coming back, I was able to see things that I didn't see before we left because I'm in it all the time. Well, those things go on the list. You have to be constantly evolving, and that's why I think that the best new restaurant category, you always see it. I don't even know what magazines have it, but or the Beard Awards have a best new restaurant.
It's ludicrous.
It's sort of the best of the worst. There is no best new restaurant because they're all evolving. We were not a good restaurant for probably the first, I'm going to say 18 months.
Well,
that
you
were
opened in
open.
2013,
yeah.
and it took at least 4 years for you to get to the point where you started getting industry nods for. I mean, you're probably getting. I know you got 2017 and 18.
17 and 18, yeah.
Yeah.
And we really opened. We opened in December of 13, so really 14. But it was all of 14 and most of 15 where we were, here's the difference is that I say we were not a good restaurant in my eyes. The seats were still, people were still coming to eat. People were still enjoying the product that we had. It just wasn't what I knew we could be. And it's also part of an evolutionary process of that list has to become more specific every day. So you're crossing these things off and you're trying to get better. And in the process of getting better every day, you're able to drill down.